Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
This week, Mount Everest got taller as its height got revised by 0.86 meters more jointly by Nepal and China. The world's tallest peak above the sea level now measures 8,848.86 meters, with both countries agreeing on the number for the first time. Mountains are measured on Earth from the mean sea level, but what about on other planets like Mars, where there are no oceans? In this video, we'll look at how mountains are measured on other planetary bodies, what mean sea level is, and what geodesy is. My name is Sandhya Ramesh, and this is Pure Science. We saw in an earlier video about the crust under the Bay of Bengal, about how the Indian plate broke off from the Antarctic plate and started drifting northwards many millions of years ago. As this plate started drifting north, it collided into the Eurasian plate about 50 million years ago, and the Himalayas started to form in the process. The process still continues, and the mountain ranges are rising every year. Mount Everest gains about approximately 2 centimeters each year. However, this mountain building process, this altitude gaining process, can be disrupted by other tectonic activities such as earthquakes. When there are strong quakes, tectonic plates move and slide and slip around, and so does all of the material surrounding it. When such violent shaking occurs at the scale it does, a lot of material is expected to move. And Nepal was shaken by a very violent earthquake in April of 2015. This devastating earthquake is in fact thought to have lowered the height of the peak, which is what prompted Nepal's survey department to re-evaluate the number in the first place. For more about what happened with this re-evaluation and how it was conducted, there's a text story on the print which shall be linked in the description below. But basically, the calculation of the height was done using trigonometry, which we learned in school. But let's look at how the measurements are done. The base reference for measuring height on Earth is sea level. But what is the sea level? A precise definition of sea level is difficult to give because there are so many factors that affect the value, but basically it is the level at which the sea is still. When there are no winds or tides, what we measure is called the still water level in the oceans, and when this still water level is averaged out over a period of time, we get mean sea level. Mean sea level and sea level are used interchangeably, and sea level is also calculated by averaging out high tides and low tides over a period of time at a location. There are of course various other factors that go into it also, but ultimately the only way to define mean sea level for our purposes is the level from which the height of surface features is measured. And global mean sea level refers to this level on a global scale. Now, the thing to understand is the Earth's shape if you remove all the water. This shape of the Earth is called a geoid. It looks like a very distorted, squished ball. Mathematicians who model the shape of the Earth are called geodesists. They practice geodesy, and one of the things they develop is called the geoid, or the model of the shape of the Earth. The surface of the geoid, the true shape of the Earth, is an equipotential system. As the name suggests, all points are at equal potential, and just like with electricity, at equal potential there's no flow. So similarly here too, there's no flow of water in a geoid. If you add water to the model, the water stays where it's added. Gravity. It doesn't flow around the model to level itself out. As a result, the level of water and the sea varies across the globe and by geography. So we also have local sea level measurements. But mountains are measured from the global mean sea level, which is a standardized marker and a geodetic datum. So we don't really measure mountains from base to peak, we measure them from the mean sea level. But if we did not use mean sea level, our global mountain records would be very different. The tallest peak on Earth would not be Mount Everest, but Denali in Alaska. The base to peak height of Everest is in fact between 4,000 meters and about 5,200 meters, depending on whether you're measuring from Nepal's side or China's side. But Denali's base to peak height is over 6,000 meters. From base to peak, the Himalayas wouldn't be the tallest mountain range, but Mauna Kea in Hawaii will be the tallest mountain in the world. And in general, since the Earth is not a perfect sphere, it bulges out as it spins from the equator. It has a shape called an oblate spheroid. So mountains and peaks that rise up from closer to the equator tend to be taller in our measurements. And that is for Earth, where the mean sea level is used as a proper marker for a geodetic datum and can be measured. Now, what happens on Mars, where there are no oceans? How is the sea level calculated? Well, on Mars, we know that there exists water ice. We know that there used to exist water and there is likely subsurface liquid water now. And we know that there is a really thin wispy atmosphere and water vapor can exist. So water exists in all three states, solid, liquid and gas. But there is a specific value of atmospheric pressure under which all three states can exist simultaneously. This is called the triple point of water. So an easy solution for Mars was to just fix the sea level at the triple point of water where all three states can exist simultaneously, and this is at about 6 millibars. This level is what is used by radar on orbiting spacecraft as well to make height measurements at Mars. Now, what about the Moon? There's no water or ice or water vapor there. But the Moon is smaller and it's also an oblate spheroid. So what we did to make life easier for us was to just calculate the mean radius of the Moon and use that as the mean sea level. Since it is also an oblate spheroid, some features rise above the mean sea level and some features are below this. And this is the same thing that is done on Mercury and Venus as well. But in the outer solar system, there are gaseous bodies. There's no rocky surface and there's no water. So what do? Once again, we come back to pressure. How do we measure the height of cloud tops on all of these planets? What we basically do is we find a level at which the atmospheric pressure is similar to what the atmospheric pressure on Earth is at mean sea level, which is just below about a bar, and we use that as the mean sea level on Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Now, what is the tallest peak in the solar system? If you said Olympus Mons on Mars, you would have been right about 10 years ago. The Martian volcano is still the tallest volcano in the solar system, but the tallest peak in the solar system is the central peak in the Rhea Silvia crater on the asteroid Vesta, which orbits between Mars and Jupiter. Now, Vesta is small and it's not a planet. It's an asteroid and it's an oblate spheroid, but it's not even a proper oblate spheroid. It's more oblate. It is irregularly shaped. It even has a huge crater in the southern hemisphere, which spans a width of 95% of the entire diameter of Vesta. So the surface is highly irregular. How then do we find the mean sea level at a place like this? Turns out we do the same thing there as we do on Earth. Geodesists and planetary scientists develop mathematical models that approximate the shape of the geoid of these bodies, and such models are called reference ellipsoids. These reference ellipsoids can be developed for any rocky body that we can make measurements of, or we can send spacecraft to observe and measure and study. Reference ellipsoids have been developed for pretty much all rocky bodies that we've studied well, and these reference ellipsoids are used to measure surface feature heights. But it's important to remember at the end of the day that our technology is still not as advanced as required to be able to deal with data and modeling at such large planetary scales. Our geoids and reference ellipsoids are not 100% accurate. As we develop and improve our knowledge and our technology, and then our models obtain finer measurements and refine data accordingly, our values are bound to change. Just like the height of Mount Everest was revised this week, it is likely that as our models evolve, the heights of other surface features on other planets and other bodies might change as well.